So today we'll be solving a more intricate problem in which we have the secant of brackets arc sine and then parentheses x minus 1. So the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to start from the inside of the brackets, which is arc sine x minus 1, and we set that up using a diagram of a triangle to make things more visually easier. So set this up real quick. And then here's our triangle right here. So given our information that we have right here, we can tell that the sine, the arc sine, that one's going to be theta. Right here, what we're going to look for is the sine, which is, first of all, sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, to clear it up, meaning that the opposite of theta would be x minus 1. And then the hypotenuse, in which you don't see it, but it's a 1, so the hypotenuse would be 1. And then what we're trying to find would have to be this one right here. Well, we're not trying to find it, but you know. It's just, and then the first thing we do for this one is that we use the Pythagorean theorem, theorem that we use mostly, in which a squared plus b squared equals to c squared. So in this equation we have a squared as we can use x here, so x squared plus b squared, which is this one, which is x minus 1 squared, is equal to c squared, which is 1 squared. And then since we don't want to overcomplicate this, we'll just try to separate so that we can get x by itself. So in which we subtract x minus 1 squared from each side, is equal to x, which is equal to x squared is equal to 1 squared minus x minus 1 squared. And then to further do it, we square root each side, and then we get, for our x value, we get the square root of 1 minus x minus 1 squared. And then this x value here gets replaced in here, where it's supposed to be right there. And then first, we're supposed to try to find the secant. And then what we know already from prior knowledge is that the secant is equal to the hypotenuse over the adjacent. So if we go back to theta, the hypotenuse is 1, equal to 1, over the adjacent, which is what we've already found here, which is the 1 minus parentheses x minus 1 squared. Now we're not officially done here because we would have to rationalize the denominator because there can't be any radicals in the denominator. So from here, we bring it down here, rewrite it as 1 square root 1 minus parentheses x minus 1 squared. We multiply the top and bottom by the square root here. To make sure we rationalize the denominator. And then eventually this all works out here, and then it's equal to the square root of 1 minus parentheses x minus 1 squared all over 1 minus parentheses x minus 1 squared. And then that is our final answer here.